Jams, pump it up. Hey guys, it's Victoria. Welcome back to FemmeHead. Today I want to talk about pelvic floor pain / discomfort during my second pregnancy. I knew after having Theo and getting my period back that my pelvic floor was not in tip-top shape. It took me a long time to be like, oh, I feel ready to use a menstrual cup again. I just used pads and period underwear for several periods because I was just like, I don't want to put anything up there right now, and that's fine. But when the time came, I knew I was gonna have to get a new cup, like a bigger size, because all the cups I had were obviously the smaller size for people who hadn't given vaginal birth. So I popped it in. Why not? Because I am my own guinea pig, and that thing literally fell out of me in the shower. I mean, it didn't like all the way pop out, but it was like hanging on by a thread. And I remember being like, man, that feels weird, looking down and just like seeing my cup hanging from my vagina. So I was like, oh, okay, well, take that out, rinse it off, and well, I guess we're done with that bad boy. So I ordered the larger size of the Ruby cup because it's been my favorite menstrual cup for years and years. I actually have an affiliate link for it down below if you want to support me and support my channel, but it is honestly my favorite cup. So I ordered the larger size for women who had given vaginal birth and nearly fell out of me as well. Not to the same degree. It shifted low enough to where it wasn't comfortable. It was like not in there correctly. So I was like, crap, what is wrong with my vagina that, you know, she can't hold a cup in there anymore? Obviously, like, give yourself some grace because you pushed a baby out of there. Like, it's okay that things aren't what they were before, and it just takes a little bit of, like, it takes time and it takes work, and that's fine. So I actually got the LV pelvic floor trainer sent to me, and so I was using that for a while, and then I got pregnant, and I was like, oh, I don't even worry about it anymore. Like, I'm gonna stretch out my vagina again. I'll worry about it later. Stopped using that. Didn't really think about it until I think it was like sometime in my second trimester, and I started getting pelvic floor like I don't want to say like pain because it wasn't like painful. I don't know what my pain scale is, but I'll say discomfort / painful just from like normal activities. If I would go for a walk, like exercise, if I would vigorously clean my house, like if I did anything like slightly strenuous, it was like, ooh, spicy, it's spicy. And then it got to the point where I couldn't do certain adult activities without it hurting after every single time we had sex. And I was like, yeah, this isn't good. This isn't like normal. Like, obviously there's something going on. And the best way I could describe this like discomfort pain was it felt similar to like after you had healed postpartum, but you like push yourself a bit too far. It just feels heavy, achy, and sore and a bit swollen. Like, that's the best way to describe it. It's time to like go and see someone, and I'd been putting it off for a while because of COVID. I'd meant to go before I got pregnant. COVID hit, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not going in anywhere. But it got to the point to where just like day-to-day activities were so not difficult, but everything set it off. So I made an appointment, and man, I wish I would have made it sooner. Not because like there's something that can't be fixed, but because I saw almost immediate results doing what she told me to do after their appointment. Because I was curious what to expect going into this appointment. I'm gonna share it with you. And it does depend on like what your specific issues are. But I just wanted to know if she's gonna be like rummaging around in my vagina. Because I have no problem with a medical professional like examining me, like internally and externally, any of that sort of stuff, because it's their job. They literally look at vaginas all the time and they're not fazed by it. But you wanna mentally prepare yourself for that, right? Because I was pregnant and I was 25 weeks along at this point, she didn't do any internal examination. I think she would have maybe if I wasn't pregnant. She did feel around the outside. We got a mirror and looked at my vagina together, which was a bit weird. It's awkward looking at your vagina with someone else, but it was so informative. And so obviously I just sucked it up and we, you know, looked at her together. It was very, very helpful because everyone's like, do Kegels, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, am I doing it right? Am I squeezing the right thing? Is this, you know, like Kegel muscle, or is this like some other muscle? Have her down there and say like, nope, that's not it. This is it. And like, look at this. And can you see how this contracts when you're squeezing that? Like, okay, what are you squeezing there? As she was talking through the different exercises, I had a visual representation of whether that was working or not. So some of the things that I learned from this appointment, and some of these could be just specific to me, but I'm trying to share just like the general ones. Kegels are important, obviously, but they are not the end all be all. And just as important as like exercising your Kegel muscles is learning how to relax your Kegel muscles, because some women will squeeze and tighten their Kegel muscles and then never ever relax them, and so they're just walking around with tight Kegel muscles, so they just have a tight pelvic floor, and that's not what you want going into labor and birth. You want a strong yet supple and flexible pelvic floor. Breathing when you do a Kegel is important. Like, obviously I knew this, but there's a particular way to breathe, and I was doing it the opposite way. So first off, there's belly breathing and there's chest breathing. Chest breathing is when you like focus on like filling up your lungs and filling up your top half. Belly breathing is like, obviously your lungs fill up because your lungs are in a certain spot, they don't move, but you want to focus on breathing into your belly. You inhale, fill your lungs, and that is when you relax your pelvic floor. And then when you exhale is when you want to flex your Kegel muscle. She also had me visualize that I was picking up like a blueberry with my vagina. So if you picture yourself like as you're doing your Kegel, you're picking up a blueberry, and then you want to make sure you set that blueberry back down. And something about visualizing like picking up a blueberry, putting the blueberry back down, like you can feel that happening, and it just helps you do it correctly. So make sure you pick it up and you put it down, pick it up, put it down. Relaxing your pelvic floor is equally as important. You want to make sure that you flex your pelvic floor before you cough, sneeze, or blow your nose. And you don't want to blow your nose while you're sitting on the toilet peeing. Apparently, a lot of women do this. It can help to do your Kegel exercises laying down starting off because there's less weight on them. You can do it in child's pose. You can do it in bridge pose. I don't know if I'm gonna make it in to see her again before birth. I probably should, but I do plan to go and make an appointment for after I give birth, once I'm like all healed up and everything, just to make sure that there's no glaring issues and kind of go through, what she wants me to do to heal postpartum from baby number 2. But yes, this is kind of just like a PSA. If you're having any sort of like pelvic floor issues, go see a physical therapist that specializes at the pelvic floor. Like, yeah, it might be a little awkward or uncomfortable, but it's so informative and you're not going to regret it. Yeah, I've noticed such a big change. Now that I'm in my 3rd trimester, while I don't have like the pain and discomfort, sometimes because of the weight of this baby on my pelvic floor, like sometimes if I like sneeze or like cough and I don't have time to like flex my pelvic floor, I'll pee a little bit, or like I'll finish peeing and then I'll get up and like go and start doing something else, and like a little bit more pee will come out. So I know that like I'm not back to 100%, but also I don't expect to be at this point. So I'm gonna continue doing my exercises that she gave me and focusing on relaxing it as well, and then go visit her again once this baby comes. I just got kicked. That's what I have to say about, just my experience with some discomfort pain. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed today's content. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.